G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, got the little Liquidambar back on the bench. It wasn't all that long ago. We gave it the root chop to end all root chops. We left it with pretty much bugger all. We pretty much flat chopped the base. Had a few roots left over, but I was a little concerned about whether it would come back, but as you can see, it's bounced back, no worries at all. I'm just going to set some more of the primary branch structure in place, and then we'll let it grow out for a couple of months, and then we can come back and revisit it early in the new year. Before we get going, delivery this morning. Thought I may as well unwrap it on camera. Of course, it's another bonsai pot. Picked it up from Bad Swan, Brendan over in WA. We'll open him up and we'll have a look. It's not a pot that I've bought for any particular reason. I don't have a tree in mind for it. I just liked the colour of the pot. I thought it was a little bit unusual, so I'm going to have to find probably a little bit unusual tree to suit it, but I'm sure that's something that I can do. Oh. I do apologise if I sound a bit sniffly. Just still recovering from a bit of a head cold I've had for a bloody week now. But I'm starting to feel a bit better today, so here we go. Very good. So it's not an overly large pot, but I like the colours, the blue, the yellow, the brown. Gives it a bit of a coastal look maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe a casuarina styled like the casuarinas you see on our coastline might suit it. Not sure. Don't really have a tree in mind for it, but very cool pot. I like it. Thanks Brendan, if you happen to watch. Yeah, so that's another very cool Aussie made pot. Very happy with that. The Liquidambar. Like I said, not going to do a huge amount to it today, but do just want to thin the branches out a bit and set some more branches into their final positions, get that primary branch structure happening. I think something out this side needs to be promoted somewhere around here. Whether we can bring this one down, maybe utilize that one to get a bit of branches happening out here. This long one up the top, I reckon I'll probably leave it to run, help thicken all the rest of the trunk up a bit. But initially, I'll just go around and thin some of the branches out that I don't want. Here's a small one here we could probably utilize. Maybe. Pretty impressed with the amount of growth this thing's put on, considering the work we did to it. I think they do really enjoy our climate, which is good because I know, well, I've struggled with maples. I'd love to grow some maples. I may give them another go, but I always seem to struggle in our climate. Got two coming out of the same spot on the back here. Get rid of one. Shorten the other one back a fair bit. And I'll probably wire it down a little bit. I'm undecided about this one here. It's probably not a bad position for another branch coming out this side, but then you're going to have a branch here, and then the next branch is going to be directly above it, which is not what we normally do in a bonsai. You'd normally go one side then the other, but we don't really need to stick to that, do we? So we might leave that one for now, see what it looks like in time, see how it grows out. See, that's sort of acting as a back branch there, so I don't think we need that one there. We have one back branch, it'll be here. This one will be another one here. We just leave that little bit of a gap so you'll be able to sort of see through the tree a little bit. Shorten it back a little bit. This one here will probably be the second branch that's coming out the left-hand side of the tree, and then this one going up can continue to be the apex, even though it's sort of offset a little. Even though it's offset a little bit, that still might look all right. So we'll just shorten that one back. If we're going to use that, we don't want that. The top of the tree will probably end up being around here somewhere, I reckon. But for now, that's going to be left to run to just help thicken some of this all up a bit more. This branch here, I'd like it to go further away from the trunk a bit. So I do wonder if we need that piece there. Should we leave it for now? Might leave it until I wire this one into position and make sure I don't just break it off. And then we might cut it off. I think this one at the front probably needs to come around a little bit. It sort of hides a lot of stuff there, but I don't know if I want to completely remove it, so we might start with that one, I think. I feel so incoherent when we talk. Just bring it down and around a little bit away from the current line that it's on. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the rumbling in the background. It's storms forecast all day today, so it is hot, hot, hot. Humid, disgusting weather. I'll point that out that way. Bring that one around a little bit behind, just so that branch comes in behind the tree. The other one I wanted to bring down was this one here. Won't need a lot of assistance to do that. Try not to squash too many leaves under these wires, but you always seem to get a few. It's probably why people like to wire their deciduous trees in the winter time. That and the fact that they're not cooking in their bloody sheds. Tell you what. That one can probably just come down. Just down a bit and back that way. I don't really need to see that branch too much. It's more those leaves that are going to fill in out here just to give it a bit of depth. This branch here, I don't know. I'll leave it for now. It can continue to grow out. It's growing at a nice angle. I could probably bring it around to the front maybe a touch. But for now I think I'll leave that. This piece up here. I think at the very least that needs to go. Oh, I think the whole thing can go. The whole thing can go. Because this will shoot up here and we'll fill in this whole area here. This branch here may end up being the apex of the tree, back over the center of the tree, because this is sacrificial, remember? That's not going to stay. So this can become a branch, a side branch out here. Got this side branch down here, this one out here, and then maybe that'll curve back over and become an apex in here. I think that's all we really need to do with this tree for today. Set some of those branches in better positions. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Sphagnum moss is doing pretty well. I mean, everything is soaking wet at the moment. It's raining every day. At the moment, we've probably had 200 mils over the last week or so. Rain-wise, tanks are full, dams full, everything's full. So it's really good. But yeah, the sphagnum moss is doing its job. But I am finding the moss is doing really well. The moss is doing a lot better than I thought it would out in the full sun. It seems to go black when I first put it on, like it's just going to die. And then after a few weeks, it seems to green up and come back. So I think from now on, I'm going to try and cultivate more moss because it looks a damn sight better than this rubbish. But yeah, so anyway, that's probably about all we need to do on this tree today. I would envisage that we will leave this tree until just before spring, when the buds start to swell and it's going to reshoot again. I'll get it back on the video then and we'll pot it into something. I don't know if I've got a suitable pot for it here at the moment, but I'll see what I can find between now and then. Yeah, the wire will come off in probably a month, if that. Depending on how quick it grows, I'll just keep an eye. Once it starts to swell and it's going to leave wire marks, I'll just pull the wire off. The branches should be pretty much set into position then. Yeah, so that's probably it for this tree for this year. Probably till the middle of next year. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.